Hi everybody, I just wanted to make a video since I have some time today, some extra time anyway. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I'm really excited for it. It's been 3 years since I've gotten no contact, and I don't know, I just feel so excited to celebrate my birthday. Tomorrow, I did my nails, and I'm probably going to get a haircut as well tomorrow. And I don't know, I just feel very at peace today for tomorrow. I wanted to talk about the idea of rushing, and I noticed this. I noticed this tendency that narcissists and sociopaths and cluster Bs have to instill in their targets a sense that you have to rush in order to achieve something. So many times when you take your time with something that you're enjoying, let's say you're painting, or you're listening to music, or you're composing something, or let's say you're doing your homework, or you're studying for an exam, any cluster B person will always kind of come into that situation and rush you and basically say, oh, you're not doing this fast enough, or well, so-and-so did this in 2 years, and it's taking you 4 years to do exactly what so-and-so did. Or let's say you want to take up some sort of interesting hobby. They will automatically talk about how some other person did this since they were a young person, and now that you're older, what's the point of doing something when somebody else is doing it at the age of 2 or 3 or 6 or whatever? So, in addition to kind of making you feel as though Armageddon is coming and something bad is going to happen, which is the catastrophizing that cluster Bs always do, they also instill a sense that you have to keep pace with something external to yourself. There's somebody that's doing something faster. There's somebody that's doing something ahead of you, and you have to chase that, and you have to consider that that person is faster than you, etc. And the idea is to make the person feel as though in order to achieve anything in life, they have to rush. And rushing is a good thing, and rushing will get you places, and it's not enough to finish this work project at your own pace and in your own time, and kind of take the time to refine whatever project that you have. You need to rush. It's time sensitive. And I find that cluster Bs will always do this. They'll always make you feel like you're not getting ready fast enough in the morning, that you're not showering fast enough in the morning. They're micromanaging you in a sense. They're always micromanaging you. But oddly enough, I believe that the greatest things in life take time, and the most worthwhile things in life take time. And if you want to be good at anything, you have to take your time to perfect the skill. For example, like I'm studying for the Russian interpreting exam right now, and in the beginning of my studying, I felt that I needed to start with the most complex things, so I had to learn the legal terminology. But I realize now that even though I know Russian, I had to go back to the fundamentals. I have to learn how to write. I have to know the Cyrillic alphabet. I have to know how to write the cursive in Russian. So I'm going back to the very, very, very basics, because I'm no longer surrounded by cluster B personalities. And when I am surrounded by them, I always get the sense that if I don't do something chop chop, snap snap, that I'm doing something wrong, that there's something wrong with me, and that I'm not smart enough, I'm not competent enough, and there's always this sense of urgency that in the end incapacitates the person, because you always will do a worse job if you rush through something. And instinctively we know this, but when we're surrounded by cluster B personalities, suddenly we feel as though we have to jump through a hoop and skip over 7 steps in order to do anything, because anything less will not be acceptable. I find that that's very true. So the solution is to take your time. And you could apply this to absolutely anything. If you noticed, like, cluster Bs will, for example, go to a restaurant and demand that their order be prepared within a very short space of time. If you're cooking for a cluster B husband, he wants his dinner here and now. And this slowly conditions you to not think about the step-by-steps of achieving something. You always think about the end goal and how something has to be done in the shortest space of time. And I want to encourage you to unlearn that. So let's say you're doing something. Let's say you want to learn how to cook. Start with the very, very, very basic fundamentals. Like, what kind of utensils do you need to cook? What kind of spices can you get? And, like, start with the very, very beginning of understanding which dishes would be prepared best in using which kind of utensils or ovens or whatever. If you're learning a language, like, scale back and start from the very beginning and work your way up. If you're learning how to draw, start with the very, very basic fundamentals and try not to beat yourself down. And it's very hard because this is like a reconditioning of yourself. It's scaling back. And try to take your time. And part of the reason why narcissists want us to rush is because they don't want us to enjoy the process of doing something. Because the minute that you enjoy the process of doing something, you can become very proficient at it. You can excel at it. You can just grow and grow and grow and grow to the point where you're really good at something and the attention is on you now and not on the narcissist. So instead of rushing through something and then convincing yourself that you're incompetent because you haven't done something in 3 seconds, really try to sit back and think about what needs to be done on a day-to-day basis, sequentially. And in time, you're going to develop new skills and new things that wow people, that draw people to you. You're going to be undoing that psychological block that the narcissist always puts on people, that if they don't achieve something tomorrow or the next day or the next year, that there is something wrong with them. And I just want you to reflect on that. How many narcissists have you known that have tried to dissuade you from taking your time with things? From really like thinking about what it is that you need to do in a rational manner, in what kind of protocols that require time and patience with yourself and the process. Have narcissists tried to tell you to not do? Because they know that the minute that you're in tune with the process, you're in tune with the now, and you're happy with the now, is when you can really succeed at what you're trying to do. Good things take time, and I'm learning every single day to take time out for myself, to take time out for what is important to me, and not to put so much heightened pressure on myself to achieve that end goal tomorrow. You know, whether it's learning a new language, whether it's learning a new art form, everything takes time and patience. And you have to get used to that fact, like that you shouldn't rush anything. You just shouldn't. Because when you rush, your performance will suffer, no matter what you're doing. Okay, that's it. Kisses.